Alright, I'm continuing on with my super early Oscar predictions, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Best Supporting Actor category, and just kind of talking through who's in my top 5 for who I think is most likely to get a nomination at this point, who I think could actually be the winner, and some others who might be in the conversation. So let's get going. So Best Supporting Actor. Oh my gosh, this is always so difficult this early in the year because it could be really anybody at this point. But I do have a top 5 list currently, and so I'm just going to run through those. The first person on my list is Paul Dano. He is in the movie The Fablemans this year. So The Fablemans is Steven Spielberg's film. It's an autobiographical film. That's about his upbringing in Arizona in the 1950s. And so this movie is probably going to be a big player this year. Everyone's been talking about it for a while. Paul Dano plays the character of Spielberg's dad in the film. And Paul Dano has had a really interesting career. He's had some really good roles. There Will Be Blood, Love and Mercy. He is fresh off of his role as the Riddler in the latest Batman movie. He is just such a good actor. He can play crazy like nobody's business. Some of his roles are pretty out there. And he can just really jump into a role and just play that full force. I'm not sure what the actual story is in The Fablemans, but he's playing a father. And I don't know what Spielberg's father was like growing up, but it'll be interesting to see Paul Dano in this role. And like I said earlier, he's had some really good roles, and he is a phenomenal actor, but he's never received an Oscar nomination. So I definitely think he's due for some talk. And so playing a character that on the surface seems like it's not a typical character he would play, in combination with being in a Steven Spielberg movie and a movie that is being talked about a lot. It's right now predicted to be one of the front runners of the year. So all this coming together, I definitely think Paul Dano is in the running for Best Supporting Actor. The next actor on my list is Jesse Plemons in Killers of the Flower Moon. So, Killers of the Flower Moon is Scorsese's film. I talked about this film a little bit in the Best Actor Predictions video, so if you haven't watched that, be sure to check that out. But this is Martin Scorsese's film, and Jesse Plemons is fresh off of his first Oscar nomination last year for The Power of the Dog, and so he has some really good momentum going right now. And especially this film is looking like it's going to be one of the big ones of the year. The combination of that and being off of his first Oscar nomination, I think it makes sense that he could just ride this wave into another nomination. It's not super uncommon for the Academy to nominate actors back to back. And also, we have actually seen a trend in recent years of, in this category, Best Supporting Actor, there being 2 nominees from the same movie, which brings me to my next person on the list, which is Robert De Niro. So both Jesse Plemons and Robert De Niro are in Killers of the Flower Moon, both in supporting roles, with Leonardo DiCaprio being in a lead role. In the past few years, let's see. So looking at the Best Supporting Actor category, same actors from the same movie being nominated. Last year it was Jesse Plemons, oddly enough, and Cody Smith-McPhee from The Power of the Dog, who were both nominated. The year before that was Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield from Judas and the Black Messiah. And the year before that, it was Al Pacino and Joe Pesci for The Irishman. So that's 3 years in a row where we've had this happen, where we've had 2 actors from the same movie be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. And so if that trend continues this year, I think the most likely scenario is for them to be from Killers of the Flower Moon. It'd be Jesse Plemons, Robert De Niro. So both of them super great actors. I think they both have a good shot, with Jesse Plemons just kind of riding the wave of his nomination this past year, and Robert De Niro just being Robert De Niro. He has been nominated 8 times for an Oscar before, and he's won twice. Best Supporting Actor for The Godfather Part 2 and Best Actor for Raging Bull. So the Academy loves him. Everybody loves him. I think those 2 could definitely get in as nominees for Best Supporting Actor. Next actor on the list is, and this is my wild card, I have Ben Whishaw for the movie Women Talking. Yeah, I do think this is kind of a wild card. So I have heard people talking about him, but I haven't really seen him at the top of anybody's list. So the movie Women Talking, it's about a group of women in an isolated Mennonite religious colony in Bolivia as they struggle to reconcile their faith with a string of sexual assaults committed by the colony's men. And so this movie has a cast primarily of women and a lot of heavy hitters. There's Frances McDormand, Rooney Mara, Claire Foy, Jessie Buckley, some just extremely phenomenal actresses. And so my theory here is that with Ben Whishaw being one of the primary male actors, I think it could just kind of highlight him as the one playing off of all these fantastic female actresses. And I think for Ben Whishaw, being in this lineup with so many fantastic female actors, I think this really could give him the opportunity to really level up, to step up his game, to kind of go toe to toe with all these great actors. So that's my theory, at least right now. I love him as an actor. I just don't think he's had that right role yet to really get the attention that he deserves. So is this it? Not totally sure, but based on the subject matter of the film, who he's in the cast with, and just kind of what role he could play in the movie, I could definitely see him being a standout. So have him in the lineup as well. And he's never been nominated for an Oscar before, so he would be a first-time nominee. The fifth person on my list is Ke Huy Quan, and he was in Everything Everywhere All at Once. And so I have Michelle Yeoh in my lineup for lead actress. And kind of a similar situation here is this movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, has garnered so much attention so far, but it's so early in the year. And the real question is that momentum going to stay consistent throughout the entire award season? Or is it going to lose steam and die out before the real conversation even begins? Ke Huy Quan, I think, was the heart and the soul of the movie because he played the different Raymonds from all the different universes that were in the movie. I think it just gave him the opportunity to show off his range and to play, his character in different ways, which is just really fun. And I really do think he was one of the best parts of the movie, hands down. There's actually a lot of similarities here between Everything Everywhere All at Once and Coda, I think. Both of them were released really early in the year. Coda had Troy Kotsur, who was nominated and then won for Best Supporting Actor, and he really was the heart and soul of that movie. He's just he was just the heart of the movie, and he was just so lovable. And I think that is kind of the situation here with Ke Huy Quan, is that he is the heart of the film. He's just so lovable. So definitely not the exact same situation, but there are some parallels there, I think. So not only is his acting and the role really great, he's part of a very popular movie. Whether that loses steam or not is yet to be seen, but the narrative is also there for Ke Huy Quan. He got really famous early on as a child actor in movies like The Goonies, in Indiana Jones, but then his acting career kind of fizzled out just because there weren't roles for Asian actors. And so him talking about just the resurgence of his career, of his acting career, of there just being more roles now for Asian actors in general, and just kind of the triumph of Everything Everywhere All at Once, not just for Ke Huy Quan, but for Michelle Yeoh, other Asian actors. This is, it's just a really fun narrative. And it would just be so fun to see him recognized and honored for what he's been able to contribute just to filmmaking and to acting in general. I would probably start crying if he won. It would be amazing. So I'm really hoping that the current buzz around Everything Everywhere All at Once does not die down, that it continues throughout the season, and that Ke Huy Quan gets the recognition that he deserves. Because, it's just not about the narrative surrounding his story, but he put on one hell of a performance in that movie, and I think it deserves to be recognized. So of those top 5, so for Best Supporting Actor, I have Paul Dano, Jesse Plemons, Robert De Niro, Ben Whishaw, and Ke Huy Quan. Of those 5, I have to go with Ke Huy Quan. I just love him so much. I think it was such a good performance, and I just think it would be super fun. Other actors that could be in the conversation, because like I said earlier, who really knows at this point? We're so early in the year, so many movies that have yet to come out. Other actors in the conversation could be Anthony Hopkins for Armageddon Time. That film just premiered at Cannes, and I've been hearing that he's really good in it, so you can never count out Anthony Hopkins. He's amazing. So Tom Hanks in Elvis. Oof, I could see this movie and this performance going either way. It could be not great at all, or it could be really good. From the trailer, Tom Hanks looks like it could be a little bit of a campy performance, a little bit over the top, but I don't know. Maybe in the context of the full movie, it could be incredible. Who knows? There are other actors like Willem Dafoe in Poor Things, Don Cheadle in White Noise. They could be really fantastic. I have no way of knowing. Also, in the movie Shirley, there's Andre Holland. Especially if Regina King gets a lot of traction for her performance as Shirley Chisholm. I think Andre Holland could really benefit from that. So we could see him being a player in this category. So yeah, who really knows at this point? But right now, sticking with my top 5 until I know more. And yeah, I'm going to say Ke Huy Quan is my best supporting actor winner at this point. So that would just be super fun. So that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up so that it can spread to more people. Really helps my channel out. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.